Well, it's a topic that has been all over the news lately. This year's flu season has been a rough one, to say the least. Thousands have been hospitalized across the state. Here to tell us more about this year's strain is Dr. Jack Ross from Hartford Hospital. Nice to meet you this morning.
Nice to meet you, Courtney.
Thank you for being here. So what is so different this year than in years past?
I think this year we're seeing more activity because of the strain that predominates. It's called H3N2. It's been around for 50 years. We used to call it the Hong Kong flu. But when we have seasons due to that strain, it tends to be more severe. This year, it started early. It hit hard. In some ways, it overwhelmed emergency rooms and hospitals. I know, in fact, at Hartford, we started about the second week of January, continued for 5 weeks with very high activity, more than we usually see over that period. And then the last 2 weeks, it has started to taper off a little bit.
Really?
We're down about 25 to 30% in terms of number of admissions compared to the previous 5 to 7 weeks.
And you think it's going to pick back up?
I think we'll see a strain called B. We're already seeing that. In fact, last week, almost 40% of the flu we saw was strain B. That tends to herald that the season is changing, but I think we have another probably 5 or 6 weeks ahead of us.
Now, I know if you are allergic to eggs, you can still get the flu shot. Is it too late to get it?
It's not too late to get it, and the point about eggs is a good one. It's something that many people don't realize today. CDC changed their recommendations. If you get only hives from eggs, you can get a flu shot. If you were to swell or get shortness of breath or vomiting or a little bit of lightheadedness, you should get your flu shot then in a physician's office. There are also 2 vaccines available today that are essentially egg-free, and so those are also available to you.
And you said kids, what, younger than 6 months, still can't get a flu shot, right?
Our biggest concerns are those who are young, under the age of 6 to 2 years, actually. They get flu that can be fairly severe, but also those who are older. In fact, in Connecticut, we've had about 97 deaths this year. If you look at that, 89 of those have been people over the age of 50. We tend to forget that. But for young children, the best thing you can do is vaccinate. You provide protection for the herd, in a sense. Second thing is just good hand hygiene. The third thing is social distancing. And then the fourth thing is if someone is sick and they work in daycare, they work in a school, they really should not be around young children.
Absolutely. And, you know, lastly, if you get the flu this year, what are your suggestions? What do you do? I
think the most important thing is stay home, and that's something people forget. Good hand hygiene, again, a recurrent theme. But also just watch for some warning symptoms. If you start getting confused, if your shortness of breath gets worse, if you have pain in your chest in one area, then you need to seek medical attention. But the most part is distance yourself from others. You're going to shed flu for about a day before you're symptomatic to up to a week after. And you put other people at risk, particularly parents and grandparents and young children.
And you mentioned those symptoms. Is that a good time to go see your doctor?
It absolutely is.
Okay, because I know a lot of people rush. I got to call my doctor, have to maybe go to the hospital, but it's really those symptoms that are, you know.
If you can't take in fluids, if you're confused, if you have pain in one location on your chest, if you're not getting better, that's when you want to see a physician or go to an urgent care center. And then one other point, too. I think this is actually, if you were unfortunate enough to end up in a hospital, things aren't going the right way, there is technology today to help that person that ends up on a ventilator. It's technology called ECMO that if it's necessary, better to be done early before fibrosis or scarring of the lungs sets in. And that's something many people are not aware of and don't advocate for their family members.
All right, Dr. Jack Ross from Hartford Hospital, thank you so much. Some good advice. Stay healthy, everyone. We will be right back.